My daughter went hungry at school for a week. When I told my mother, her response was, "Can she take crackers?" That same night, I canceled the $2,800 monthly grocery delivery. On Sunday, her card was declined at the grocery store. The call came at 5:18 on a Thursday afternoon while I was in the kitchen, still wearing my navy blue work blazer. My daughter Chloe was sitting at the table with her backpack between her shoes. She was 9 years old, but at that moment she looked like she was 6. Her shoulders were slumped, and she was peeling the paper label off an empty water bottle, strip by strip. My mother's name popped up on my phone screen. "Hello, Mom." "Emily," she said. "We need to adjust a couple of things." I opened the fridge and stared at 3 yogurt cups, a carton of eggs, and the pasta I was planning to make. "What things?" "The money you send for Chloe's lunches." I froze. Every Sunday, I transferred $25 to my mother, $5 per school day. That money covered Chloe's breakfast when I had early client meetings, school lunch, and an afternoon snack before Mom picked her up. The transfers always had the same memo: Chloe school meals. "What about it?" I asked. My mother let out a little sigh. That reasonable sigh. The one she used right before saying something cruel, expecting me to thank her for being so practical. "Your daughter's lunch money is now going to your brother," she said. "He is unemployed." My mouth went dry. Across the kitchen, Chloe stopped peeling the label. "What did you say?" "Tyler needs it more right now." "You gave Chloe's lunch money to Tyler. Do not be dramatic. It is only $5 a day and Tyler needs gas." Mom said he has interviews. My brain automatically started doing the math. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 days last week, 4 days this week. I looked at Chloe. "When was the last time you ate lunch at school?" She looked down at the table. Chloe covered her hands with the sleeves of her sweater. "Last Monday," she whispered. My fingers got cold. That had been 10 days ago. "They gave me milk twice," she whispered. I put the phone on speaker and set it on the kitchen counter. "What did you eat the other days?" I asked. Chloe shrugged without looking at me. "Sometimes Emma would give me half of her sandwich." My body reacted before my mind did. My heart started pounding hard against my chest, but the rest of me stayed completely still. "What about breakfast?" I told Grandma I was not hungry. My mother's voice came through the speaker. "She can take crackers." Chloe shrank, not in a way that was visible to someone who did not know her, but I knew her. I saw how she tucked her chin and hid her fingers even deeper into her sleeves. "Mom," I said, "Chloe told you she was not eating. She said her cafeteria account was empty. And what did you tell her? That she had to be flexible." Chloe's eyes filled with tears, but she kept them wide open so they would not fall. I rested the palm of my hand on the counter. "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked her gently. She swallowed hard. "Grandma said you were busy," my mother chimed in. "You are busy. I am her mother, and I try to help this family. You took money meant for my daughter's food. I redirected it to a 34-year-old man. Your brother is having a hard time. My daughter went hungry. She did not starve to death." That sentence changed something. Not loudly. Nothing dramatic happened in the room. The lights stayed on. The refrigerator kept humming. A car drove down the street outside, its tires hissing on the wet pavement. But something inside me slammed shut. I picked up the phone. "Emily," my mother said. "Do not start." "I am not starting anything. You always overreact when Tyler needs support." I looked at Chloe. She was looking at me the way kids look at adults when they are trying to figure out if the world is a safe place. I kept my voice steady. "Send me a list of every lunch payment I transferred to you and every amount you gave to Tyler. That is ridiculous. Send it tonight. I do not report to you. You do when you take money meant for my daughter. It was family money. It was not Chloe's food money." My mother let out a short, offended laugh. "Fine, be selfish." I ended the call. Chloe opened her mouth. "Are you mad at me?" I crossed the kitchen in 3 strides and knelt beside her chair. "I should have known sooner. You should never have been put in a position where you had to tell me. I did not want Grandma to get in trouble." I held her face gently in my hands. "Adults are responsible for their choices. Your responsibility is to tell me when you are hungry, scared, hurt, or confused. That is never getting someone in trouble." Her first tear slipped down her cheek. "I was really hungry." "I know. I took graham crackers from the teacher's desk. That was okay. They were for emergencies. This was an emergency." I stood up, grabbed my keys, and took her to a diner 2 blocks away. She ordered chicken tenders, French fries, applesauce, and chocolate milk. When the food arrived, she ate too fast, but then slowed down when she noticed I was watching her. "You do not have to save any," I told her. "I know. You can order more." She nodded, but still left one chicken tender untouched until the very end. At 8:06. While she was showering, I opened my banking app. There were 8 Sunday transfers to my mother of $25 each, $200 in total, all with the same memo, Chloe School Meals. Then I opened the school lunch portal. No deposits had been made in 11 school days. The balance was negative $43.20. I took screenshots, downloaded the transaction history, and saved the PDF in a folder named Chloe Food May. Then I opened the grocery delivery account I had set up for my parents 18 months ago. My dad had retired after a back injury. Mom said money was tight. Tyler had moved back in with them after losing his apartment. They told me they needed help for a few months. The previous month's grocery total was $2,866.44. The month before that was $2,774.18. My credit card was saved as the default payment method. This Sunday's order was already in the cart. Steaks, energy drinks, 2 cases of beer, protein powder for Tyler, and an $8 cheesecake. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I deleted my card, canceled the scheduled delivery, changed the password, and downloaded 18 months of invoices. I did not scream. I canceled the $2,800 monthly grocery delivery I was sending to my parents' house. My name is Emily Davis. I was 36 years old. I was a licensed insurance agent in Billings, Montana, and the only parent in Chloe's household who remembered school permission slips, dental appointments, shoe sizes, and which night was library book night. Chloe's dad, Jason, lived in Boise, Idaho, with his new wife. He paid child support on time, called most Sundays, and saw Chloe during school breaks. We were not friends, but we had reached a stage where neither of us used our daughter as a weapon. My family found that disappointing. My mother, Susan, believed every divorce needed a villain. Since Jason refused to play that role, she assigned it to me. "You have always had a hard time keeping people around," she told me once while eating a dinner I had paid for. That was how my family worked. They could accept my work, my money, my time, and my car, but they could not accept that any of those things gave me the right to say no. Tyler was my younger brother by 2 years. He had been unemployed 7 times in 6 years. He quit a warehouse job because the manager was too strict about the time clock. He left a tire shop because the uniform shirts were uncomfortable. He lost a delivery job after using the company van to help a friend move. Every time, Mom used the same words. He needs a fresh start. He needs a break. Family helps family. The first time I noticed the pattern clearly was 3 years ago. I had saved $1,200 for new brakes and snow tires in Billings. That was not optional. It was October and the first hard freeze was already in the forecast. Mom called me crying. "Tyler's power got shut off. He has no heat. He has electric heat," I told her. "That is not the point. What happened to his paycheck?" "He had expenses." "I have expenses too. Emily, please." He could freeze. I sent $800 directly to the utility company. 2 days later, Tyler posted a picture from a downtown bar. He had a concert wristband on his arm and a bottle of premium bourbon on the table. I called Mom. "He needed one night to feel normal," she said. I drove through half of November with tires so bald I could feel the car sliding when I turned into the agency's parking lot. I told myself it was temporary. It was not. The second incident happened when Chloe was 7. My parents offered to watch her during spring break because my agency was short-staffed. I packed her clothes, medicine, books, and $80 for activities. On Wednesday, Mom sent me a picture of Chloe sitting on the couch, while Tyler's son, Noah, held a brand new remote control truck. "So cute," Mom wrote. That night, Chloe called me from the bathroom. "Mom, what is wrong?" "Nothing." Her voice had that muted tone kids use when they are trying not to cause trouble. "What happened?" "Grandma spent my zoo money." "On what?" "Noah wanted the truck." I closed my office door. "Did you guys go to the zoo?" "No." "What did you do today?" "Grandma said we had to stay home because Noah was tired." When I stopped by to pick up Chloe, I asked Mom for the $80. She seemed genuinely confused. "It all went to the kids. It was for Chloe." "Oh, come on." Mom smiled. She is learning to be generous. In the car, Chloe asked me, was I bad for wanting to go to the zoo? I pulled into a gas station because I could not answer safely while driving. No, Grandma said, family does not keep score. People usually say that when they are taking more than they give. Chloe looked out the window. I will not ask for anything again. That sentence should have been enough for me. It was not. I still believed I could manage the imbalance if I stayed organized. I set rules, labeled transfers, paid companies directly, and stopped giving Tyler cash. I thought boundaries could be built with detailed memo lines on bank transfers while still giving them everything they demanded. The third incident happened last Christmas. I hosted dinner at my house, paid for the ham, the gifts, the decorations, and a hotel room for my parents, because Dad said his back could not handle my pull-out couch. At 4:40 the afternoon, Tyler arrived with Noah with no food, no gifts, and no apologies. He opened my fridge. Where is the prime rib? I made ham. Mom said you were making prime rib. A prime rib roast cost $200. He shrugged, and Chloe stood in the doorway holding 2 wrapped presents. One was for Noah, and the other was for my parents. Tyler pointed at the biggest box. What is that? Chloe's present from me. What is it? A musical keyboard. Noah heard him. I want a keyboard. Tyler looked at me. Could you let them share it? No. Mom walked in with her purse. Emily, do not make a scene. I said he is not keeping it at our house. They can both use it, she said. I bought it for Chloe. Tyler laughed. She is going to use it for a week. Chloe hugged the box tighter. I will use it, she whispered. Mom gave her a fake smile. Nobody said you wouldn't. That was the family language. Nobody said meant someone definitely had said it. Be flexible meant letting Tyler get his way. Do not make a scene meant going along with the scene they had already created. Family helps. Family meant I helped. And they judged if it was enough. Temporary meant until I collapsed. I kept the keyboard at my house for 2 weeks. Mom called me selfish. Then Dad's back surgery got delayed. Their property taxes went up, and Mom asked if I could help with groceries. I said yes. At first, it was $600 a month. Then Mom added cleaning supplies. Then the price of meat went up. Then Tyler moved back in with them. Then Noah started staying over every other weekend. By the time I checked the grand total, it was averaging over $2,800 a month. That did not include Dad's cell phone bill that I was paying. It did not include the lunch money transfers. It did not include the $100 I sent Mom every month for picking Chloe up after school. I made good money, but I was not rich. My base salary was $58,000. Commissions pushed it higher, but not predictably. Some months I closed massive commercial policies. Other months, I spent 40 hours fielding calls from people angry about deductibles I did not set. After taxes, health insurance, my mortgage, Chloe's expenses, and family support. Sometimes I had less than $400 left before payday. I used credit cards for back-to-school clothes, put off my dental appointments, and drove a 9-year-old Subaru with a cracked rear bumper. Meanwhile, Tyler was ordering meal delivery kits because he said going to the grocery store affected his mental health. I knew things were wrong, but I kept swallowing it. Every time I thought about stopping, Mom brought up Dad's back, Tyler's depression, Noah's need for stability, or how hard she worked helping me with Chloe. I did not want to lose my childcare. That was her leverage. My agency opened at 8:00 a.m. Chloe's school opened at 7:45 a.m. On days I had morning renewal meetings, Mom drove her to school and picked her up. Mom constantly reminded me of it. We make your career possible. For a while, I believed her. Then I started noticing what this arrangement was teaching Chloe. She stopped asking for snacks at my parents' house. She hid her favorite toys before Noah came over. She would ask me, "Is this mine? Mine?" every time I bought her something. Once, she got a $20 bill and a birthday card from Jason's mother. Mom held out her hand. "We will hold on to that to keep it safe." Chloe looked at me before answering. "She is keeping it," I said. Mom rolled her eyes. I was not going to steal it from her. Chloe folded the bill into a tiny square and hid it inside her sock. That night, she asked me if adults could take your money if they were your relatives. I told her no. And yet, I kept sending money to my mother every single week. That contradiction was mine. I had spent years asking Chloe to believe my words while she watched me ignore my own boundaries. The lunch money finally made it impossible to keep camouflaging the pattern. Mom had not made a budgeting mistake. She had looked at the money meant for a little girl's food and decided that Tyler's comfort mattered more. Then she told the hungry little girl to eat crackers. The private pressure campaign started at 7. 9:01 the next morning. I was brushing Chloe's hair when Mom called. I let it ring. She called again. Then Tyler called. Then Dad. At 7:19, the family group chat lit up. Mom, we need to talk like adults. Tyler, did you seriously cut off the grocery account? Dad, your mother is upset. Mom, this is messing with your dad's diet. I took screenshots. At 7:23, Mom sent another text. Mom, Chloe exaggerated. They offered her food. I looked at my daughter in the mirror. Did anyone offer you a full lunch? She shook her head. The cafeteria lady said my account was too low. She gave me milk the first day. The next day she told me I had to bring money. What did Grandma give you? Nothing. Did she pack you crackers? Chloe looked embarrassed. A 4-pack of crackers one time. I finished braiding her hair. You are having breakfast with me today. At school, I walked in with Chloe instead of using the drop-off line. The office manager, Mrs. Miller, checked the account. There has not been a payment since May 3rd, she said. Today is May 16th. I transferred school money to my mother every week. She handles morning drop-offs. Mrs. Miller's face shifted, and she printed the statement. There were 11 meal charges, 3 reduced-price emergency items, and a note stating that a payment reminder had been sent home twice. I never saw those, I said. They were put in Chloe's backpack. I turned to Chloe. She was staring at the carpet. Where are the notes? Grandma took them. I got goosebumps. She took them out of your backpack. She said she would handle it. Mrs. Miller leaned forward. Chloe, did your grandma tell you not to give them to your mom? Chloe nodded. I heard the click of the air conditioning kicking on. That small sound anchored me to reality. Please print every note on the account, I said, and remove my mother as an authorized contact for meal payments. We can do that. I also want her taken off the authorized pickup list. Mrs. Miller immediately looked at Chloe. Yes, I signed 3 forms. I added my coworker and friend Sarah Jenkins as an emergency pickup contact. I added Jason as an authorized parent. I changed the account password and deposited $300 directly. Then I asked a clear question. My daughter went without a full lunch because no payment was deposited. Mrs. Miller paused. Our policy is to provide an emergency item, but according to the record, she did not receive a standard lunch for 7 school days. Please put that in writing. I will email it to you. Thank you. I did not raise my voice. I did not accuse the school of starving her. I collected facts. At 9:04, I was at my desk when my mother's first voicemail arrived. Emily, this has gone too far. You cannot ban me from Chloe's school over a misunderstanding. The second one came from Tyler. You know I am trying, right? I needed gas and food. Mom said you would not mind. The third came from Dad. Your mother made a judgment call. Families share resources. I saved all 3. At 9:22, I texted Mom a single sentence. Send me the full transfer log by noon. She replied immediately. I do not have to prove anything to my own daughter. I typed back. Then do not contact me for money. At 10:15, my manager knocked on my office door. Are you okay? I stared at the policy renewal on my screen. I will be. You have been staring at the same deductible for 10 minutes. I told her just enough to explain why I needed an extended lunch break. She listened without interrupting. Then she said, Emily, document every single dollar. That was the first time someone outside the family had said it clearly. Not forgive, not calm down, not think about Tyler, but document it. At noon, I opened a spreadsheet. I entered 18 months of grocery orders, $49,873.12. I entered Dad's phone bill, $1,548.77. I entered the school pickup payments, $1,800. I entered the lunch transfers, $2,925. I entered emergency utilities, car repairs, medical copays, and temporary loans. The total was $67,441.89. I checked it twice, then a third time. At 12:37, Mom sent a screenshot. It was a list of transfers between her account and Tyler's. The amounts were not hidden. $75, $50. The dates matched my Sunday transfers. Under the screenshot, she wrote, See, it went to basic needs. I saved it. I zoomed in on the image. One of Tyler's payment memos said, sports betting. Another said Mickey's bar. Another said, pay me back, LOL. I replied, you transferred Chloe's food money to Tyler. The records confirm it. Mom called immediately. I answered because I wanted a concrete response. Why did you take the school notes out of Chloe's backpack? I did not want to worry you. That is not an answer. You work all the time. Why did you take them out? Because I was going to handle it. You did not handle it. I was going to. When? When Tyler got paid. He does not have a job. He has prospects. Give me the date you plan to replace Chloe's money. Mom went silent. Give me a date. You are interrogating me. I am asking when my daughter was going to eat. She could bring food from home. You told her not to tell me. I told her not to bother you. It is the same thing. No, it is not. What did you pack for her? I do not remember. Chloe remembers. 4 crackers. My mother's tone shifted. The softness vanished. Well, maybe she should be more grateful. Some kids have nothing. I looked out my office window at the parking lot. Rain had started hitting the glass. My daughter had money, I said. You gave it away. You are overreacting because you hold a grudge against Tyler. This is not about a grudge. It is always about that with you, isn't it? This is about a bank transfer, a school record, and 7 days without a full lunch. You sound like an insurance adjuster. I am an insurance agent. Facts are my job. Do you think you are better than us? I think Chloe deserves to eat. Mom hung up. That afternoon, Tyler showed up at my office. He was wearing sweatpants, a black hoodie, and the expensive sneakers Mom had told me Noah needed for basketball. The receptionist called my extension. There is a man here asking for you. I looked through the glass wall. Please tell him I am unavailable. Tyler heard her. I can see her. He walked around the desk. I stepped out into the lobby before he could reach the employee hallway. You need to leave. He held his hands out. We do not have to do this. You came to my workplace. Because you are not answering. What do you need? Mom's grocery account is locked. They do not have food. They got a delivery 4 days ago. That does not last. It was $212. He lowered his voice. Dad needs specific food. The order included 6 ribeye steaks, beer, and your protein powder. Do not police what people eat. I paid for it. You always throw your money in our faces. I never talked about the total until my daughter went hungry. She skipped a few lunches. My receptionist looked down at her keyboard. A client in the waiting room went completely still. I kept my voice low. Leave, Tyler scoffed. You are cutting Mom and Dad off to punish me. I am stopping payments from my account. It is the same thing. No, keeping my money to myself is not something being done to you. He took a step closer. You owe them for watching Chloe. I paid Mom $310 a month. That is nothing. Then the arrangement is over. His face changed. You cannot just take Chloe away from Grandma. I can change my daughter's childcare. She loves Chloe. She let Chloe go hungry to give money to you. She was helping me. I looked at him. That sentence is exactly why you have to leave. My manager appeared at the end of the hallway. Is there a problem? Tyler flashed a bright smile. A family misunderstanding. No, I said. I asked him to leave. She picked up the lobby phone. I can call building security. Tyler glared at me. Are you seriously doing this? Yes. He left. At 5:40, I picked Chloe up from the after-school program. She had eaten lunch. I knew because she gave me a detailed breakdown of every single item. Square pizza, baby carrots, diced peaches, and milk. How much did you eat? All of it. Then she hesitated. Am I still going to Grandma's house tomorrow? She is not mad. Probably. Chloe nodded slowly. Are you mad? Yes. At me? Never for being hungry. Her face relaxed noticeably. That night, Mom sent 23 text messages. She said Dad's health would suffer. She said Tyler was depressed. She said Noah would notice the lack of groceries. She said I humiliated her at the school. She said taking her off the pickup list was legally questionable. She said grandparents had rights. She said I would regret teaching Chloe to abandon family. I saved every message. Then she sent one that mattered. Mom, I made a judgment call on where the money was needed most. I would do it again. I read it twice. I took a screenshot and placed it in the folder alongside the school record, bank transfers, grocery invoices, and audio files. That was the moment I stopped arguing and started documenting. Sunday morning I woke up at 7:03 to 6 missed calls. Mom, Dad, Tyler. Mom again. At 7:11. Dad left a voicemail. Your mother is going grocery shopping. Fix the card before she gets there. I did not delete anything. At 8:46. Chloe and I were making pancakes. She was measuring flour while I sliced strawberries. My phone rang again. Mom, I let it go to voicemail. At 9:18, she called from the grocery store. I answered. Emily. Her voice was low and furious. They declined my card. The card was mine. There are people behind me. Then step out of line. I have a full cart. I canceled the grocery account on Thursday. You did not tell me. I deleted my payment method after you told me you diverted Chloe's lunch money. You need to fix this right now. No. The word came out clean. Mom lowered her voice. Do you understand how humiliating this is? I looked at Chloe. She was arranging strawberry slices into a smiley face. Chloe stood in the school lunch line with no money for 7 days. That is what humiliating looks like. It is not the same. You are right. You are an adult. A cashier's voice sounded faintly behind her. Ma'am, do you have another form of payment? Mom covered the phone, but I still heard her. Give me a minute. Then she came back to me. Emily, unfreeze the card. There is no card to unfreeze. What are we supposed to eat? You and Dad get retirement income. Tyler is a grown man. You can buy your own groceries. You know our bills. I know mine too. You cannot do this without warning. I can stop using my money. She took a deep breath. I am coming over. Do not do that. We are going to talk today. No, you cannot say no to your mother. I just did. I ended the call. At 9:31, the family chat exploded. Mom, Emily left me stranded at the store. Tyler, this is financial abuse. Dad, fix this now. Aunt Linda, what is going on? Tyler, she cut off the help for Mom and Dad because I borrowed $25. I stared at the message. Borrowed, not $600, not the school lunch, not 7 days. I opened the receipt folder. Then I typed a single message. The groceries stopped because Mom redirected money meant for Chloe's school lunches to Tyler. Chloe went 7 school days without a full lunch. I have the school record, the transfer statements, Mom's written admission, and grocery invoices totaling $49,873.12 over 18 months. I will not be discussing this further. I attached 4 files. My bank transfers, Mom's transfers to Tyler, the school record, and Mom's text saying she would do it again. Then I muted the group. At 10:02, Aunt Linda called me. I answered. Did Chloe really go without lunch? Yes. Why didn't Susan tell you? She told Chloe not to. Linda stayed quiet. I saw the bank statement. I saw it too. And the grocery total? Yes. Emily, I had no idea. That was the point. At 10:17, another aunt called. At 10:26, Dad called and yelled for the first time. You put private financial information in the family chat. I shared transactions involving my money. You made your mother look like a thief. I shared her own text messages. She was helping your brother. She took food away from my daughter. He is your brother. She is my daughter. Dad fell silent. I heard Mom talking behind him. Then Dad said, You need to apologize. No. We will be at your house in 20 minutes. Do not come over. You cannot keep us away from our granddaughter. I ended the call and contacted the Billings Police Department non-emergency line. I explained that relatives were threatening to come over after I asked them not to. The dispatcher asked if there had been violence. No, there are no direct threats of violence. I want the request on record. She created an incident report and gave me the number BPD 260-51714. I wrote it down on a yellow sticky note. Then I emailed the lawyer I had retained for my divorce. I wrote 3 paragraphs, attached the school documents, and requested a formal cease and desist letter stating my parents were not permitted to contact Chloe's school, pick her up, or enter my property. At 10:43, I emailed the school principal and copied Jason. I revoked all consent for my parents and Tyler to receive information, pick up Chloe, attend meetings, or modify accounts. Jason called 3 minutes later. Is Chloe okay? She is now. Do you need me to drive up to Billings? No. I need you to reply to the email confirming the restrictions. I will. He paused. Emily, did your mom really take the lunch money? Yes. For Tyler. Yes. Another pause. Put me down to pay for half of the after-school program. You already pay child support. I know. Put me down for half anyway. Thank you. At 11:06, someone banged loudly on my front door. Chloe froze at the table. The piece of pancake on her fork stopped halfway to her mouth. Is it Grandma? Yes. Another loud bang shook the door. Emily! Mom yelled. Open the door. Dad's voice followed. We need to talk, Tyler shouted from the porch. You embarrassed all of us. I led Chloe into the hallway. Go to my bedroom. Are they going to break in? No. How do you know? Because the door is locked and I am not opening it. She grabbed my wrist. Come with me. I walked her to the bedroom, turned on her favorite show, and handed her my noise-canceling headphones. I will be right outside the door. She nodded, but her face had gone pale. That was the moment I stopped thinking of the banging as family drama. My daughter was scared inside her own home. I called the police. I have a report number, I said. The people I reported are now at my house and refusing to leave. The banging continued. Mom shouted through the door. Are you hurting your father? Tyler yelled. All this over a school lunch? I did not answer them. 2 officers arrived 12 minutes later. By then, a neighbor was watching from her porch. One officer spoke with my family. The other walked up to me. I showed him the text messages where I had told them not to come over. He read the line out loud. Do not do that. Do not come to my house. It is clear. Through the window, I saw my mother's face change. That was the liberating part. Not a speech, not an accusation, just a police officer reading an ordinary sentence and confirming that my no had meaning. The officer asked if I wanted them formally served with a trespass warning for the property. Yes. Mom heard me through the open door. Emily. I looked at the officer. Yes, all 3 of them. He filled out the notices. My father's face turned gray. Tyler started arguing about grandparents' rights. The second officer told him, that has nothing to do with your right to remain on private property after you have been asked to leave. Mom pointed at me. She is unstable. She is doing this to punish us. I handed the officer the school record and her written admission. He reviewed it and handed the papers back. This appears to be a civil, family, and financial dispute, he said. But the property instruction is simple. You have been asked to leave. Mom stared at me. You are choosing paperwork over your own family. I answered her with a single sentence. You no longer have access to my daughter, my home, or my money. The officers escorted them to their vehicles. Tyler slammed the car door so hard it rattled the glass. Mom stood on the sidewalk for several seconds before getting into Dad's truck. She looked up at my bedroom window. I pulled the curtain shut. That afternoon, a locksmith changed both exterior locks. I wiped the garage keypad code. I changed all my banking passwords. I replaced the spare key Mom had. I canceled the phone bill I paid for Dad, giving 30 days written notice so he could transfer the number. At 4:12, my lawyer emailed me the formal no contact and revocation of access letter. At 4:30, I sent it via certified mail and email. The boundary was no longer an argument. I had a case number, a school file, a trespass notice, and a signature. The first week without my mother's help was chaotic. I woke up at 5:45 every morning. Chloe ate breakfast at home. I dropped her off at the school's morning program at 7:20, which cost me $15 a month. The afternoon program cost another $240. For years, Mom had convinced me I could not afford professional childcare. Yes, I could. It cost less than 1 week of groceries for my parents' house. On Tuesday, Chloe came home with a small paper bag. What is that? I asked. Emergency crackers. My chest tightened. She placed them in the pantry. I do not need them in my backpack anymore. No, I said, not anymore. Still, she checked her lunch account balance every morning for 2 weeks. I showed her the balance every time. $286.80, $271.80, $256.80. I never told her she worried too much. I understood what she was doing. She was checking to see if the food might disappear again. On Friday, Sarah picked her up while I finished a commercial policy review. When I got home, they were making grilled cheese sandwiches and dancing silly to music in the kitchen. Chloe was laughing with her whole face. Not that careful laugh she used at my parents' house. A loud laugh. A little girl's laugh. I stood in the doorway and let the sound wash over me. Sarah looked at me. Are you okay? Yes. For the first time, it was true. The grocery money changed our lives almost immediately. I paid off the credit card I had used for Chloe's winter coat. I scheduled the dental crown I had put off twice. I boosted my emergency savings. I replaced the two bald tires. I also opened a separate youth savings account for Chloe. No one else had access. The first deposit was $600, the amount Mom had siphoned from the school lunches. I told Chloe the account was for her future. Can Grandma take it? No. Can Uncle Tyler borrow it? No. Can you? Only if it is for you, and I will show you the record. She thought about it. Okay. My parents tried 3 different tactics. First came the anger. Mom left voicemails calling me cruel. Dad said I had humiliated them in front of the cops. Tyler sent me a payment request for $1,400 with the note, "Family groceries. Your share." I declined it. Then came the apology. Mom sent an email. "I am sorry you misunderstood my intentions. I was trying to keep everyone afloat. Chloe was never in danger. I hope when you calm down you can see that." I replied only once. An apology that denies the harm is not an apology. Do not contact Chloe. Then came the gift. 3 weeks after the grocery store incident, a bakery delivery driver arrived with a white cake. The top said, "Family forgives." I refused the delivery. Mom texted me from a new number. It was a peace offering. I blocked the number. Aunt Linda told me Mom had started doing her grocery shopping at a discount store. Tyler had picked up a temporary landscaping job. Dad transferred the phone line into his own name. Nobody starved to death. Nobody ended up homeless. The catastrophe they predicted was just adulthood finally arriving at their address. In June, Chloe's school had a picnic. Parents spread blankets on the grass while kids ran between the tables with slices of watermelon and juice boxes. I packed way too much food. Sandwiches, strawberries, pretzels, string cheese, and 2 cookies. Chloe opened the cooler and started laughing. "Mom, it is just the 2 of us. I know, we cannot eat all of this. We can take the rest home." She looked at me for a second. Then she grabbed a sandwich and ran off toward her friends, without checking, without saving half, without asking if it was hers. I watched her sit in the sun and eat without fear. That was the outcome that mattered to me. Not whether Mom regretted what she had done, not whether Tyler learned to be grateful, and not whether the family group chat decided I was right. My daughter was eating lunch. She knew I would believe her. She knew a hungry child did not have to protect an adult from the consequences. 2 months later, Mom sent a handwritten letter. It said she missed Chloe, that grandparents make mistakes, that the punishment had gone on long enough. It ended with, "We are family. You cannot erase that." I read the letter once, then filed it in the receipt folder. I did not reply. The boundary was not a punishment with an expiration date. It was a response to gathered data. My mother had proven to me that she could look at my daughter's hunger, minimize it, hide it, and repeat the choice given another chance. Love did not require me to forget that. Family support is supposed to flow toward the vulnerable person, not away from them. A little girl's food is not slush fund money, and a mother's silence is not peace when the price is her daughter learning to go hungry quietly.